Sue, it's Carrie finally with some options for your Diemer family hiking holiday in June to the Canadian Rockies, which I have pictured behind me. I'm going to do a quick video walkthrough of these quotes, hoping you can help narrow down the choices so we can get closer to the combination of amenities that are really important to you on this trip. So let me share my screen. Okay. The dates I selected are June 23rd through June 29th. This is a Sunday to Saturday, which gives family members 1 day to recuperate before heading back into work and family obligations. But obviously, these dates can be changed if you want to. I wouldn't go much earlier because the lodging businesses have indicated that some trails are still closed mid-June due to snow that hasn't melted. In an ideal world, everyone flies into Calgary by 2 p.m. and gets transported to Canmore or Banff for dinner. If you decide to stay relatively close to Banff, you do not necessarily need to rent a car. You could book the Banff Airporter Sprinter, which would drive your party the 2 hours from Calgary to your hotel. This would be a private charter for just your family, and the cost is $970 one way. So you would have that charge on your return trip also. There is a public bus, but it is literally that, a public bus. It's not intended for luggage storage. It's much cheaper to go, but there's also no guarantee you all would be able to get on that bus at the same time. And then the third option would be to rent a car or probably two. I did not have any luck finding anything beyond a 7-passenger vehicle, which you might be able to make work for yourselves, but just consider also all the luggage that you're going to be bringing. So if you get 2 cars, the expense is approximately $2,900 for 6 days. And it is your best option for total flexibility during the trip. So I'm recommending at least 1 car, if not 2. Before you head into the park, you will need to purchase the National Park Pass. And so here's a link for that as well. I don't anticipate you're going to spend a whole lot of time in Calgary, but I did put a little bit of information about that city in case you decide to do some exploring. Whatever you choose, I suggest you head straight to Banff or Canmore for dinner to recuperate from your day of traveling. For lodging, I've prepared 3 quotes. The first is down here, a 6-day rental of a 7-passenger Dodge Durango and 6-day accommodations at the Fox Hotel and Suites, which is this property. It combines the best of lodge living and sort of cabin living with the full amenities of a hotel. And you're right in the center of Banff around other restaurants, dining, trailheads. This is known as the hiking hotel. It literally out the front door is just a plethora of hikes within the Banff area that you can access. This particular quote has 3 rooms in this lodging. So 1 queen room with 2 adults and 2 king suites, which would have a king bed in the bedroom and then a fold-out sofa in the living room. So one of your married couples, one of your singles in each of those 2 rooms. Pros: in the heart of Banff, close to restaurants, hiking trails. Cons: you may need to rent another vehicle and your single travelers are sleeping on sofa bed pullouts. The second option is the same car rental, but a lodging at the Alpine Escape in Canmore, which is about 30 minutes south of Banff. There are no Airbnbs in the national park itself, and the ones in Banff did not meet my bed count requirements. So the one I'm quoting here has 6 beds and 3 baths. and all spread out over 3 floors. So your whole family has lots of space. It's a really beautiful modern accommodation. The downside again here is that your single kids are confined to bunk beds on the 3rd floor, but at least they're full beds and not sofa beds. So let me see if I can get to that point. Yeah, here they are, the bunk beds. So, and then you're still in a town with its own amenities like restaurants, bars, grocery stores, but at a lower cost than the more touristy city of Banff. And then, let me get out of this here. The con is that you are still, you're quite a ways yet from the national park. Not quite a ways. You're still 30 minutes south of the national park setting. So you would just need to plan for that for trail days so that you give yourself time to get into the park itself. And then option 3, I mean, I desperately wanted to get you a quote at the Fairmont Chateau in Lake Louise or Moraine Lake Lodge, but neither have availability for your whole group during the entire 6 days. It is possible, if you prefer, to spend 3 days in one lodging and transfer to one of these other iconic properties for the other 3 days. We just need to make sure that the dates coincide with each lodging's availability. So Moraine Lake Lodge does have a sister property, and I got a 6-day quote from Cathedral Mountain Lodge, which is this property, for 4 king cabin rooms, which is what how they would accommodate your family to a room. And they're beautiful cabins where everybody gets their own fireplace. And of course, you're in the mountain setting itself. So it's spectacular, but the price reflects that as well. So that is the Cathedral Mountain Lodge for 6 days and a car rental there. Now, let me just show you where all these properties are so you can visualize which makes the most sense for you. Obviously, you fly into Calgary. Here is Canmore, which is about 30 minutes south of Banff, right here. And Lake Louise is up here. And then the Cathedral Mountain Lodge, the most expensive option, is up here. If you'd prefer to stay in the center of the park as opposed to Banff or Canmore, there are other lodges that I looked at, like Storm Mountain Lodge, Baker Creek, both near Lake Louise, but not on the lake. So in order to refine this quote just a little bit more, I need to know 3 things. Do you want to use public transport, or do you want to rent a vehicle, or possibly 2? 2, do you want to be based in Canmore, where you have the largest selection of Airbnbs, or Banff, where you have the largest selection of hotels, or the Lake Louise area, where you're in the center of the park and have the largest selection of trailheads? And 3rd, what price point do you want me to aim for so we can make sure this is feasible for you and your family? Okay, so I've given you a lot to think about. Take the weekend. Let me know if there's a time next week to chat, either by phone or Zoom, and so I can answer any questions and do some additional research and get to work on refining this quote for you. So looking forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.